Happy Friday afternoon, everybody. This is our mic check. If you can see us, if you can hear us, give us a thumbs up so that we'll know that everything is working properly. We will begin promptly at 3 o'clock.
Good afternoon, everyone. Lovely day out there for the ducks, anyway. Kind of gloomy, but it's going to be cold this weekend. We've got had a really good day yesterday. If you didn't tune in yesterday, we did have several people that got tested. As far as the swab test goes, Alex, he can actually bring you up to date a little bit more on that. It was 54 people that was tested, and he was there all day, and we helped them set up yesterday morning, the health department. We really appreciate them coming in and doing that, and they will be back next week from 9 to 4 on Thursday. But like I said, Alex can give you a little more information on that. I mentioned the cleanup process every day, and I know some of you say, why do you do that every day? Well, because a lot of people, even this morning, called and didn't realize that we were still picking up. So we are still picking up. We're going to try to do it and phase it on out till the end of next week. Hopefully we can be finished with it. We're going to work with you, though, if you're a little bit late or whatever, getting things out. Some people have problems getting help, but this weekend hopefully it'll clear up, and people will be able to come in and maybe help you with that cleanup. Mentioned Cloudland Canyon most of the days because that is a big issue to a lot of people. They're still doing the 150 cars and shutting the park down after the 150 cars, and they do still have DNR up there on site helping maintain traffic and all that. So last few weekends it's went pretty smooth from what I understand. I've been up there a couple of times in and out, and when they get to that 150 car, they're cutting cutting people off, and a lot of people are just kind of, especially if they've drove any distance, they're just hanging around until they open it back up. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 hours, sometimes not. I do want to mention too, I've had a couple of people call this morning about this, and 1 or 2 calls this week, but we are still doing, electrical inspections for our storm people, the storm damaged people, and a lot of people have not, believe it or not, have not got their entrance maybe to their house, but maybe not to their barn or garage. But we do not charge for these if it's storm damage. So and we're still doing them. You pretty much, when you call, we'll try to get right on it and get it taken care of for you. So just do what you got to do. I mean, some people, it's taken them a lot longer because they had a lot more damage to their entrance going into their buildings. If you need to, as far as the any violations you see, if people that are not living or not doing the mask, or not so much the mask, but the doing their distancing, we do have a number here to call. Or if you go in any of the restaurants or any of the businesses and you see this not happening, there is a 24-hour hotline that you can call. It's with the state of Georgia. It's 1-844-442-2681. That's 1-844-442-2681. A lot of fours in there, but don't hesitate to call, because we most people that I see out here, they're making it work. They're doing what they're supposed to, but you've always got those that may not. But for sure, call if you see a business not doing this. I mean, if you see a business that's opened up and they're really not following the rules, please call this number, because they do follow up on it. Let's see here. Since we're having this testing, this is the swab testing, so it's a true test. We may see an increase in the next week or two, on positive cases in Dade County. It may not. We don't know how many out of that 54 will be tested, but, it stands to reason that, we're going to pick up a few that possibly. And then even after next Thursday, we don't know, really. So the medical facility here at Lawson's Medical, they're doing the antibody test here in Trenton. Their number is 706-657-3200. Of course, that's totally a different test, as we talk about just about daily. That's where they either prick your finger or they do a blood draw. And I think over there she does the blood draw and sends it to a lab. And so you've got a $25 charge on it plus a lab fee. I'm not sure what the lab fee is. I haven't found that out. Now the sports complex down where we do the public health, that is a free test. And honestly, Kerry brought this to me a little while ago. I didn't pick up on this last night at 10 o'clock, but at 10 o'clock they actually did a press release, from the Georgia Public Health. And this is pretty interesting, because they're really evidently pushing testing throughout all of our United States, but especially in Georgia, it looks like. It says, effective immediately, testing is available to all Georgians who request it, whether they have symptoms or not. There are more than 65 checkpoints, test points, and collection sites throughout the state, with an additional 30 mobile units that travel throughout the state. Locations and hours vary, but they give, I'm not going to repeat all these numbers, there's a lot of numbers here to call, but Kerry's got this posted, or will have. It's got 4 different numbers in the state of Georgia you can call besides our number of the 802-5329, 706, 802-5329. That's our number that we've been posting out here. It's on this, but they got 3 other numbers here too. But so they're really pushing the the swab testing throughout Georgia, and so give one of those numbers a call. Of course, your local closest place is going to be at our full fields or our sports complex. But if you can't do that on Thursday, there's closer sites. There's one in Lafayette at the health center over there. They'd probably be the closest, I guess, or maybe Catoosa County. But so just keep that in mind if you have any doubt or you really want to be tested. We'll move into our report on their numbers real quick. We have in Georgia, as of today, we have 32,016 confirmed cases. That's up from 31,309 yesterday. In Dade County, we stayed the same. We're still at 16. With the antibody test, we have 11 that we can deduct from that. That really should not be there in Knott County, but that brings us down actually to 5, and we've had 1 deceased, so that really 4 confirmed tests is what we have truly in Dade County right now, as of right now. Walker County went from 61 to 62. Now they've got 44 antibody tests that's figured into that number that the health department said really you can't count. So that puts them down to 18 true people that are out there, that are active. So that's a big difference. Catoosa County, they stayed the same at 52. They've got 23. That puts them down to 29 if you subtract the 23 from the 52. Chattooga County, they went from 15 to 16. They have 2 antibody tests you can deduct. That puts them at 14. Whitfield County, they're at 137. They were at 137 yesterday, and now they're at 139. Gordon County, they went from 120 to 121, and they only have 2 antibody tests figured into those numbers, so that's high numbers there. 153 in Floyd County yesterday, and they've went to 155, and they only have 1 antibody test that's figured into theirs. So they're, for the size counties, that's quite a few people. Bartow County went from 359 to 360. They went up 1. There's still 852 unknowns, unknown counties. Moving to Tennessee, Hamilton County, or neighboring county, they went from 196 to 211 yesterday. They actually have 99 recoveries as of today. That's people that's actually recovered and back out on the street. They have 13 deceased. Marion County they're at 29. They have 23 recoveries with 1 deceased. Grundy County, they went from 28 to 30. They have 23 recovered total with 1 deceased. Sequatchie County, they're at 7, and they have 5 recovered. Meigs County went from 11 to 17, and they have 6 recoveries. Bradley County went from 61 to 64, and they have 48 recovered. Totally in Tennessee, they have 237 deaths, and they're down from yesterday, 239. What does that mean, Kerry? That's strange.
It was strange, and I verified that 3 times.
I can see the actual test, themselves, but when you're talking about deceased, that's kind of odd, unless they made them.
They changed the cause of death.
They must have. They could have changed the cause. Yeah. Okay. All right. In Alabama, in our neighboring county of Jackson County, they went from 54 to 56. DeKalb County went from 117 to 130. So all of you just hang in there this weekend, and try to live by the rules. This is Mother's Day weekend, and I know people's going to be out and visiting and all, but just stay precautious, and try to do wear your protective mask and do your social distancing. We got Alex Case, our Mayor of Trenton, and EMA Director coming up. On Alex.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alex Case, Director of Dade County Emergency Services and the Mayor here for the City of Trenton. And as Executive Rumley states of all their businesses and stuff, and today I went to the barber shop, and they're really practicing great measures of the 6-foot distance, and I was talking to the barber and the rules that they gave them and for them in cosmetology. And one of the things that really got me is you can't have your capes no more. So with it touching different things, and even the practice that they put the paper around your neck, the way they have to sanitize their brushes and their clips and all that things, they're really taking precaution and wiping and cleaning the chairs. Stood outside for quite a while, got to talk to a lot of folks, and again, one of the restaurants I went to eat today, everybody seems to be really doing really good practicing of the social distance. But went to the local hardware store, and I was standing at my 6-foot mark, and somebody just bebopped in front of me, got up behind this other lady, and we've had conversations with people when somebody breaks that rule, who is to try to correct them. So you try to be as nice and polite as you can, and we've talked about we've got to help each other and keep this going. Besides the COVID, and helping with all of our cities, it's a new term that we're learning to live with. And it'll go on a lot longer and back into the fall probably with us. So, I think somebody would appreciate to remind them, hey, I was in line and you broke that thing. So I've had several conversations with folks about that. You want to, make sure that they, and it's a new thing for somebody, and some people are aggravated about it and want to get aggravated, and if it does, but I'm sure some just forgotten. It was a young feller that, he apologized, stepped back. I said, no, go ahead, just stand here where I am, and I backed up one. So, it's one of those things we got to keep practicing, and we're all important members to do this, not just for COVID, but continue washing our hands for the regular A and B flu and common colds, and it's just a thing that we do. Again, even if to register for our testing that will be coming up again, you can call Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and it's 706-802-5329. And everyone that called that number, when they come up, they were holding their sheets up in the window. They pulled up to the nurses. They checked their numbers off and told them just to pull down, and they were in and out quickly. So it's a very fast process. The time, if you do show up and did not get a chance to do that, a few people told us that they done it that day. So it's a fast process, and those numbers are updated to the nurses. They are on the internet there or through their system, so it is a fast process. So it was a good thing for us to help them with logistics and signage and cones and just be there. We did have a few people drive backwards through the system. That's just people were cutting through because state GDOT was out there loading brush in that section where we are. It's close to where the tornado damage was for Easter, and some people were cutting through because they were doing it. So we stopped them and told them to be a little cautious and cutting through things. So, but again, it's all of us. We really appreciate everybody continuing to do that. And there's just some thoughts of mine today when I was out paying some bills and running to the bank and just noticing how people, and it's still a good topic. It's a good topic, and a lot of conversation, and people's got different thoughts of it. We all do, I think, but we've mentioned it here as the new norm, what it will be and continue to be. Monday, May the 11th, the City of Trenton City Hall will be back open. There also will be some tables and barrier protections and distancing things in place. We got them in place this week, and so both the city clerk and a court clerk will be there. We will have our meeting Monday night. We will have distancing. It'll be a very we don't really have a lot on the agenda. We got a few things to discuss, so we will be encouraging that. It'll be broadcast live by K-Win, and so we like to wish everyone, especially all of our mothers, a very happy Mother's Day weekend coming up. I think it's going to be the coldest Mother's Day morning we've had in several years here. So, guys, sons, don't forget your mothers and your grandmothers. Just wish them all a very happy Mother's Day. And again, thank you for all that you do to help us. It's a team effort. We're just privileged to be here to serve you, and I believe we have some questions.
We do have some questions. The first one is for you, Alex. It's any word on people getting help who lost everything in the storm?
No, Georgia was denied what they call individual assistance from FEMA for Georgia residents that were either uninsured, underinsured. It was hard. It was aggravating, truthfully. Of the 5 counties that was damaged during that time, from Dade, Chattooga, Catoosa, Murray, and Union, GEMA requested individual assistance and SBA for any businesses that was devastated from the 12th and 13th storms, and we were denied. So as of right now, we don't. We've had one faith-based organization that's been out helping some individuals. Took another call today of an uninsured resident that was blown down. Luckily, it wasn't a person's house that they're not living in no more, but now it's a structural collapse that they're worried about it, what to do, and the cost of that. So it's tough. You know, it's one of those things that we got to either, if somebody's willing to come in and help some of these folks and rebuild, or a lot of it is funding for the people that's on a very strict budget for Social Security or disability and that. So we've got I got a group that's helped several folks, but still it's been removing trees and stuff that can't afford to get out. So right now there is no federal assistance. Now, Tennessee, Dade, Walker, Catoosa, Whitfield, and Murray was declared with Tennessee's declaration, but it's for SBA, Small Business Association, for businesses that were hit in those counties. There's nothing on the individuals for either lost wages or low interest loans. But we found out up through that kind of backwards, but that, as of right now, that's the only thing that's available through SBA, Small Business Association, that if there's any business that was hit, and we only knew of one that was qualified in that. So that's the hardest thing to say there isn't. We'll do what we can to help find some organizations, and that's one of the things we're asking for now, if anyone's willing to step up to help with that.
And the second question is about Sulphur Springs Gap Road. Do we know when that will be open?
That's a good question. Have been working on that all this past week, and by this time next week, that road, hopefully, unless something drastic happens, we'll have it back open. Billy and I talked about it yesterday, and we talked about it every day this week, but from the looks of it, we'll probably have it travelable, back in. It'll be better, probably in better shape than it's been in many, many years. Yeah. Okay.
And the next question is GEMA going to offer any assistance for storm shelter on private property? Not that we know of.
We know, because we weren't declared. But Alex can, he can answer that better than me. He's the one that handles all that.
Back in 2011, there was some assistance like that, but I've encouraged any homeowner that's wanting to retrofit a room in your house and a basement there. If you just Google or look up storm shelter FEMA, there's tremendous great guidelines on how to take an existing closet, bathroom, any size room, and things to do to make it a storm shelter. We are in the RFP process to do some more community storm shelters that we were approved for a mitigation grant that we're going to be working on hard. But we've been set back with the COVID a little bit, and then productions of things before we get the RFP processed out. We're in the final preliminary reading of the RFP before we send it out. But right now there is no funding that of any sort been awarded to Georgians from FEMA from the storms.
Anything else?
Those are all of our questions.
There's a what now?
That's it.
Okay. I was going to mention too, if you really want to go get tested today, they are our health department, our Georgia Health is in Catoosa County, and you can work off these numbers here. You don't have to be in from Catoosa to get checked, just like you don't have to be from Dade to get checked down here. So if you really are out and want to go drive over there, it's at the senior, also at your senior building, senior citizens building. I don't have an address. I just came to me there because I heard them talking about it yesterday and this morning on the news, really. So you can call one of those numbers there and actually go over there today if you didn't want to wait till next week. But we appreciate everyone tuning in to our little program here, and hope it's informative for you. We'll be back Monday at 3 o'clock unless something drastic changes. And just have, as Alex said, just have a really good weekend. I hope everyone has a Mother's Day, a wonderful Mother's Day, and just try to be safe. Got another question?
We do have another question. This person says, so what are your thoughts on, or what's your stance on some of the governors overstepping their powers? So I think this is in reference to calling in COVID-19 violations. Do you think that's an overstep of power?
You mean like having this number and actually? Well, I think you need to, if the governor or the president puts a you can recommend people wear masks. You can't make them, But when they put regulations, like in the opening of phase 1, phase 2, and they put regulation on restaurants, I think yes, you need to abide by them. It's only the right thing to do. I mean, to try to, because you don't want to. And the argument to that, I guess, would be, well, you don't have to go in a restaurant if you don't want to. But the thing about it is, if you've got your family in there and you got young children in there, you want to be as protected as you can, and you're gonna do the best to protect them. And you hope the people next to you or 6 foot away from you is doing the same thing. So, but I don't believe in I think day to day, the government's got too much to do with our lives anyway. I mean, really, if you want to know the truth about it. But when it comes to this right here, we're talking about a whole different thing. We're talking about, we're kind of at war, you might say. I mean, it's awful to say it that way, but this thing is really, it's real. I mean, we've got people dying every day. I'm not saying that to scare people, but it is real. And, we've got to do something. And you need to listen to the people that we actually vote in and that we pay, that's supposed to know what they're doing to advise us. I don't know if that answers the question or not, but okay. All right. Thank you a lot, and we'll see you Monday at 3 o'clock.